that, across almost any industry, Chinese brands are accelerating developments at breakneck speed. The phrase "made in China" used to be something of a dirty word, especially when it came to watchmaking. But these days, that's no longer the case, with brands like Atelier Wen doing their level best to beat the Swiss and the Japanese at their own game. Building upon the impressive momentum it's gained in 2025 with the release of the tantalum-cased Inflection, Atelier Wen has unveiled a brand new limited edition Perception as its first watch of 2026, stepping away from its typical guilloché dial finishing to offer something arguably even more captivating. Since its release, the Perception has been a roaring success, thanks in part to its gorgeous case design and dials, as well as the updates that came along with the V2 model. Yes, there's a hint of Nautilus in those broad flanks, but it's clearly a design of Atelier Wen's own, and if we really want to talk about brands adopting each other's design elements, we don't have enough time in this video. The proportions are where the Perception really wins, with a 40mm diameter tapering down to around 37mm, 47mm lug-to-lug, and a thickness of just 9.4mm, paired with its not-so-conventional integrated bracelet. More on that in a moment. The result is a classy and comfortable design that suits a wide range of wrists, all while remaining purposeful and sporty enough to feel at home outside of a shirt cuff. The surfaces of the case are well finished with a combination of brushing and polished edges. And it's not just a looker, as it flexes some functionality too. The double-domed sapphire crystal features no fewer than 10 layers of anti-reflective coating, and a screw-down crown provides an impressive water resistance of up to 100 meters. Finally, the caseback features a hammered texture exposing a Chinese lion motif, along with a partial exhibition window exposing just a small part of the movement inside. But enough about the case, it's the dial that's new here. As with pretty much any Atelier Wen watch, the dial is the main event. But this Perception Millésime Xuán takes things to the next level, exploring natural stone dials with a difference. This is the brand's second chapter in its unfolding yearly community-centric Millésime editions, and it changes things up with a natural pietersite stone dial, a somewhat uncommon stone in watchmaking, which showcases a unique blend of blue, grey and silver tones that just look incredible. The stone was chosen for its resemblance to the textures and colours of, and forgive me for butchering the pronunciation here, Shanshui Penjing, a type of mountain water landscape garden that formed an integral component of traditional Chinese architectural compounds. Wire cut by hand by a master stonecrafter in Zhejiang, just south of Shanghai, the pietersite dial is then sent to hand polishers in Guangdong, where it takes several hours to achieve the desired finish. The Xuán dial's perfection proved quite a challenge for the brand, but the results are clearly worth the effort. This dial plate is then layered over the top of the familiar architecture we've seen from the Perception before, with the loom-filled leaf hands and Chinese Wen patterned contrasting chapter ring. By the way, I want to hear your thoughts. How do you feel about Atelier Wen swapping out the Perception's signature, and popular, guilloché dial for this stone dial? Let me know in the comments. Now, to the flip side of the watch. The decision to cover most of the movement with a partially exposed caseback has always been interesting, particularly given here that Atelier Wen has chosen to decorate the Dandong Peacock SL1588A movement with Geneva striping. The smoked crystal at least shows off that the watch is mechanical, and has had some care applied to it, while leaving room for making the caseback special. Nevertheless, the movement inside the Xuán has proven its worth by now, boasting a 41-hour power reserve and a claimed accuracy of ± 10 seconds a day, confirmed by the Horological Research Institute of Light Industry, a large Chinese developer of timekeeping instruments. All of this is packed into a movement that is just 3.4mm thick, which helps keep the watch's proportions sleek. The Xuán arrives on the 222-esque H-link integrated bracelet, formed in the same 904L stainless steel as the case. It also features the same brushing and polishing style, finished with the same attention to detail. My favourite bit about the Perception's bracelet is its proprietary on-the-fly micro-adjustment system. It's excellently executed, integrating the brand's logo as an adjustment button and expanding along the blade of the clasp. It's pretty killer. Also, not only does the integrated bracelet taper from 22mm at the case to 18mm at the clasp, but it also tapers in thickness too, from 3mm at the case to 2.6mm at the clasp. And while that might not seem like a lot, it's something that impacts comfort quite significantly. And that's an important point actually, because there's no point having a watch with a beautiful dramatic stone dial that's not a pleasure to wear. And the Perception truly is. A pietersite dial only expands its appeal, but not for everyone. And I'm not having a go at the watch. What I mean by that is that only a few owners will actually get to experience the dial, as this watch will be exclusively available during an order window between January 28th and February 6th, 2026. During this period, quantities of the watch won't be capped, but once that order window is closed, well, the watch will be discontinued. So you'll have to act decisively if you want to add it to your collection. As for the price, the Atelier Wen Perception Millésime Xuán is available now for $3,600. You'll find a complete list of specs in the description of this video, and head to time+tidewatches.com for our full written review. And if you've enjoyed this video, consider giving it a like and subscribing if you haven't already. And until next time, don't be a stranger.